my mindset was always just humble.
Alright, shalom, all praises be unto Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Rakakwadash. Double honor unto the elder apostles, the elder bishops of the great millstone, who rule well and who taught us his truth. Salutations unto the sincere Akim out there, pushing the word in truth and in sincerity. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Barakatham. Okay, now this is from the Standard, right? Paper, and this is London Coliseum. Ambitious plans unveiled for world-class 25,000-seat sporting arena in Stratford. And, don't know if it's a ley line there. I think it is actually. Got to check that out. But there's some fascination with, like, East London. You know, when they had the Olympics over here, was it the 2012 games, I believe? You know, they built the they built the stadium there. Can't remember the name of it now. You know, the Olympic Park and all that stuff. But there's something about that East London region where they just like to put, you know, games and all that. You know, so they want to put another Coliseum, and it's funny, they didn't say stadium. Now, a stadium is nothing but a Coliseum anyway, you know. But it's just interesting that they use the word Coliseum, because we know that the Coliseums are just ancient stadiums, you know, going back to Rome. You know, gladiatorial games were had in Coliseums. You know, horse racing was had in Coliseums. You know, sporting events were had in these Colosseum architectural structures, okay? And the modern day name for a Colosseum is a stadium, right? His plans have been revealed for the London Colosseum, a huge new 25,000 seat indoor arena in East London that could transform the capital's place on the global sporting stage. So they're trying to say basically this is like an investment into the injection of traction on an economic level. You know, new stadium, we can host more events, more money. The venue, if built, would become the biggest indoor arena in the UK, overtaking Manchester 23,500 capacity Co-op Live and London's 20,000 capacity O2 Arena. Okay. The ambitious project is being developed by Jericho Estates, Peacock Gym, Torch Sports, and architects Shybik plus Christoph, with the proposed site located in Stratford, Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park. I mean, they've already got a stadium in the fucking Olympic Park, so you want to build two, or you destroying the old one? I don't know if there's plans to destroy the old one and rebuild there, or unless you're going to have two massive Colosseums in the Olympic Park. Because I said it was 2012 games, I believe, was the Olympics over here hosted by England, and it was in East London, man. The same, not just East London, but this exact same spot within the Olympic Park. So you're going to build two massive, another addition, massive stadium in it. Who knows, man? Okay, I got to probably do some research on, like, what are the current plans for the current stadium. Are they keeping that, or are they just going to put it somewhere within that park too? Okay, that's pretty much the point. Oh, see here it says, see? The arena, that's why it's good to read. The arena would sit close to the former London 2012 Olympic Stadium, now home to Premier League side West Ham, and is being pitched as a major destination for sports and entertainment alike. So you're going to have two stadiums within the same park. It could become home, or the home of a future London franchise in the NBA's planned European competition, while also hosting World Championship Boxing, UFC events, and international esports tournaments. So they're proposing it as a money grab, right? Economic opportunity, right? Opportunity. So like, man, that's an inside joke. It's a really good opportunity, okay? Anyways, so pretty much what you got here tapped in the games, right? It says here Roman leaders used games as a distraction from political corruption and economic issues. Therefore, the manipulation of games was a system uh, of a faltering republic, not the games themselves. So yeah, the games themselves ain't nothing wrong with the game itself, but the surge of games ultimately is a distraction. Here it is. You got ultimate economic uncertainty. Consumer confidence is in a disgusting deficit. Nobody's confident in society. Nobody wants to spend. Nobody. And yes, people still do make time for sports, but then you even look at, I can speak for sports in the UK, in England, right? All kind of streaming services have stopped, and people are loyal to predominantly football, what they call soccer in America. People are loyal to that because it's all they know. But as they say, the game's gone. Even all kind of artificial intelligence, VAR, people ain't even interested in the sport anymore. The natural exhilarating feeling it used to give, it's become more mechanicalized. So I'm not saying football's done it in the bin, but you got people that aren't happy with the direction of the sport. Okay, dropping views. Even the BBC said the other day they're cutting back totally on a football focused sports coverage. So even with the games, yeah, people are heavily invested in it for true. I'm not saying that's not the case at all, but even with the games, if you look at the direction it's going, the graph is going down rather than up. All very slowly, albeit. Okay, but this is nothing but a tactic, man. All kind of hell is breaking and about to break loose. Continue to break loose, right? All hell's breaking loose, and you've got people out here talking about, oh, let's build another stadium meters away from one that's already up. And again, in the article, they called it a coliseum, which is not a big deal. But then you read into things, right? This is Rome coming back, man. Okay, the scriptures speak about the revived Roman Empire and that. The different kingdoms, the spirits of these places. We've done on locations and probably will do some more. One final time, before we out on this side. But we've done on locations of various arcs and arcs in London. Remember one we did about 9 years ago, maybe. Central London. There's a plethora of on locations spots. We went out there to Cambridge, where they print the Apocrypha. We actually set up the on location directly across the original building where the Apocrypha was printed in the UK and still is to this day, and shipped worldwide. So we've done these on locations, man. But pretty much what you see is a reoccurring theme of and I'll get that scripture, a reoccurring theme of this just being Rome 2.0. No new thing. Is Ecclesiastes 1:9, and it says, the thing that hath been, it is that which shall be, and that which is done is that which shall be done, and there is no new thing under the sun. So, you've got the regurgitation of trends in music, in fashion, all right? Even in the music world, a lot of these songs, it's all mechanical. Nothing's really manually played by live bands. You got to go to a live band concert to hear a live band and real music. But most of the music that's put out there, about 98%, if not 100% of the music that's put out there, it's all digitalized and programmed. And there's time and place for that on a music level, but there's nothing like authenticity in the real thing. But even your music sounds chemicalized. It's all just robotic, right? Samples and this and samples of that, and taking this beat and just putting it over that and that melody, and it's all robotic. But the point is to show that even sounds are regurgitated. A lot of samples in modern music now, if you can call it music, a lot of samples are like from songs from the 60s, even the 50s, the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and they're putting it over new beats and stuff. The same thing goes with fashion. You know, a lot of things that was in fashion in the 70s and the 80s, a lot of young people are rocking them kind of clothing now because there's not no just new invention, as the scripture says, right? There's no new thing under the sun. You ain't just come up. As much as people want to believe, oh, I'm the inventor of this, and oh, this is all brand new, and I'm the innovator of that. You ain't the innovator of shit. All right. What was the lick 55 years ago is going to be the lick in like 2 years from now. Or right now. Why? Because there's no new thing under the sun. That goes for food, that goes for clothing, that goes for music, that goes for buildings, that goes for everything. There's no new thing under the sun. Okay, you can't outdo the scriptures, man. The thing that have been is that which shall be. It's just going to come back around again. And that which is done is that which shall be done. And there's no new thing under the sun, man. So, this is definitely Rome all over again, man. You know, stadiums and coliseums and games, the same tactics, the same building structures. And it's all that bread and circus, man. Now, again, this ain't no set in stone plans. I don't want to make it come across like that. It's just a proposed plan. But the very fact it's proposed, it's letting you know where they want the minds of the people to be. Which is basically, don't worry, just be happy. And distract yourself with games. Right, whole time society's going down the toilet, man. Going down the drain. Okay? Same old tactics, man. Anyways, with that, I'm out, man. Shalom.